so tonight's topic, if I'm not wrong, is how to enter the street, street entry, street entry. So how many of you know this term, street entry? Okay, how many of you do not know this term, street entry? Because it's a street entry, what are you talking about? I think it's street entry. Okay, so some of you are new to this term, which is nothing wrong. Did you attend the puja earlier? Yeah, attend the puja earlier. So normally when we do the chanting, we have the salutation to the triple gem. So one of them is recollecting the qualities, the virtues of the Sangha. Yeah. And one of the verses after Purisa Pugala, there are 8 types of person. Yeah. So there are 4 pairs of men, 8 types of person. So these are the Sangha. And these are the Sangha. So who are these 4 types of person, 8 types of men? And so there are these groups of people that we classify and call them as Sangha. Okay, so I'm going to name you these 8 types of individuals. 8 types of individuals. First is the path to street entry. Path to street entry. So this is the first type of individual. Second type of individual is the fruit. They achieve the fruition of street entry. So this is the second type of person. And the third kind of person, the path to one's returner. Path to one's returner. And fourth, the fruition of one's returner. You can see that at the view. Okay, then the fifth, path to non-returner. And the sixth, fruit of non-returner. 7, path to Arahant. And the 8th, fruition of an Arahant. Arahant heard before? Arahant. Who never heard before Arahant this word? So you want to know what Arahant? Yeah, so Arahant means enlightened one. So Chinese call Rohan. Rohan. So not the Shaolin Kung Fu, the Silpa Rohan. People in Pablo fighting Rohan. So this Chinese easier. They will tell you 出国, 一国, 二国, easier to label. 一国罗汉, 二国罗汉, 三国罗汉, 四国罗汉. So very simple. So you can combine these 8 types of individual into 4 pairs of person. Yeah? So you can simply mention street enterer, one's returner, this non-returner, and Arahant. So these are the 4 kinds of, we call it sainthood, achievements. So in order to become, so the person becomes the street enterer, mentally or spiritually they become a Sangha. Spiritually become a Sangha. So that is a Sangha. So if a person has a role, we are just representing the Sangha. Representing the Sangha. So we are just conventional Sangha. Conventional Sangha. Yeah, so whether we achieve it or not, that's a totally different case. But sometimes up to them, nobody put a label. Are you a street enterer? Are you an Arahant? Nobody put label, right? So conventionally, we just represent only. Represent only. Huh? Okay, so this topic may seem intimidating once I introduce Sangha means stream enterer and onwards. So, like telling the audience how to achieve this stream entry is like a big thing. In Buddhism, actually, the ultimate goal is to reach liberation and eventually become the arahant, an enlightened mind, free from this birth and death. That is the ultimate goal. So a stream enterer is like the first step. It's like you join the club, first step. So that's the first step, stream enterer. So before you proceed on to the others. So how to define a stream enterer? Or rather, what's the benefits, what are the perks of being a stream enterer? Right? So a stream enterer is supposed to remove 3 kinds of defilements. Remove 3 kinds of things, 3 factors, 3 kinds of defilement that tie us, bind us to this samsara. 3 things. First is doubt of the Four Noble Truths. And it is a stream enterer experience the Four Noble Truths. That is, they experience it personally, not theory. I can chant Four Noble Truths. I know in theory Four Noble Truths. So they experience Four Noble Truths. So they have total confidence this is true. Four Noble Truths. So they have no more doubt. So this is the first requirement. And to overcome this factor. Then the second thing they overcome personality view. Personality view. I'll explain later. Then the third one, they overcome rites and rituals. Or we call not so beneficial rites and rituals. And so this is the stream enterer. Overcome these 3 things. So how are these 3 things related? So first I'm going to explain what this personality view is. So a personality view means a person will associate with a certain personality. For example, you may associate yourself because maybe you're Malaysian. So that is a personality. Or you are Chinese. You are a Buddhist. So that is a personality. Some kind of concept we create, and based on that concept we create, then we will have certain rites and rituals associated with that personality. For example, let's say I'm a Chinese race, and what kind of rituals do Chinese do? Chinese New Year, then to red color, to the lantern, and whatever, right? To the calligraphy and so on. So this is the rituals being a Chinese. Yeah? So if let's say you are Buddhist, then Buddhists also have rituals. So you do the bowing and do the chanting, so all these are rituals associated being a Buddhist. So I'm going to give you a more circular example. How many of you, let's say, football fans? Nobody watches football. All observe present very well. Yeah, observe present. Don't entertain. Okay, how many of you, let's say, like singing? Yeah, so you associate yourself and you are a singer. Yeah, so if you sing, then you are a singer. So a singer will have certain rituals. You need to sing your favorite song again and again and again and again, right? So this is a ritual. Any art the same. You learn any skill the same. You need to practice certain thing again and again and again and again. And so that's the ritual. Because you have this personality, that's why you have this ritual. So, if a person, let's say, have not discovered the Four Noble Truths, they will invest, they will rely heavily on these rituals for their happiness. You understand what I'm saying? And so if I'm a singer, I need to sing to be happy. If one day I lost my voice, then they stop ready. And they're not okay anymore. If let's say, for Chinese, one day, this MCO, then you cannot visit your family, who feel upset. A lot of people feel upset, cannot visit family, cannot go out, cannot do shopping, and a lot of things. So you feel very frustrated. You cannot do the rituals that you're supposed to do every year. Cannot do. So you feel very upset. And because of this, you invest in this personality and rituals for happiness. So, Stream Enterer, by right, they have no doubt in the Four Noble Truths. That means they experience what is this sensation of suffering. They understand the cause of suffering. They know the craving involved with wanting to carry on the ritual, and they know how to seize the craving. They know how to seize the craving. So if one day they cannot do the ritual, it's okay, never mind. It's okay. So they overcome this clinging to rites and rituals. So they do not cling. They do not rely on this for their happiness. Yeah, they still get upset. So Stream Enterers, we have greed and anger. Still have. But won't affect them so much. So if you hear people like depression and committing suicide, I'm still not yet Stream Enterer. I'm Stream Enterer, maybe a bit upset, but won't take it too hard. Won't take it too hard. So this is Stream Enterer. So they experience a spiritual kind of happiness, a certain level of spiritual happiness, certain kind of spiritual contentment. And so Stream Enterer overcome these three things, and what's the result? It is believed that the Stream Enterer, maximum they can be reborn 7 lifetimes. Maximum 7 lifetimes. So if a person is not yet enlightened or not even partially enlightened, that is still very mundane, still have chasing, like to chase after material stuff, he believes that we are in samsara for many lifetimes. I don't know, many countless lifetimes. And we die, and we born again, born again. And if we still haven't hit the Dharma, we haven't experienced any truth, any spiritual truth, we will go through this again, die, born again and again. So, by reducing this further potentially countless rebirth to 7 lifetimes, is actually a big discount. Very big discount. From close to infinite lifetime, you reduce to 7. So it's a big turnover. So Stream Enterer, you have maximum 7 lifetimes. That doesn't mean you have to be fulfilled 7 lifetimes soon. Sometimes you can reduce, depending on how hardworking is this practitioner. Something 3 lifetimes, 4 lifetimes, 2 lifetimes, whatever. So 1 7, the Buddha mentioned, 1 maximum 7. There's a Stream Enterer, still having greed and hatred, will definitely still pursue mundane happiness. Pursue mundane happiness, but like all things, mundane happiness is impermanent. It can be an thing outside change, or maybe we ourselves change. One day we go through this sickness and want to pass away at the time. When things change, you cannot pursue those things anymore. Then you start to recall spiritual happiness. At least you have something to fall back on. So there's a Stream Enterer. They have this spiritual happiness to fall back on. And some people, when they face crisis, very sad, really, nothing to fall back on. And if they lead the wrong company, then they become addicted to drinking, addicted to gambling, right? All kinds of vices. And so they rely on those for happiness. So for Stream Enterer, if they lose anything, one day they will recall, last time I experienced it before. They will come back to this, fall back to this spiritual happiness. So they can keep chasing, they can be keepers, right? They can chase to maximum 7 lifetime. So there's a stream enterer. So if I would introduce the other few stages of fruition, so above stream enterer, we have this thing called one sweetener. So one sweetener, they do the same thing to overcome the 3 factors, but they reduce greed and anger. So they still have anger, still have greed and anger, but they reduce greed and anger. So when they do that, they reduce the lifetime from 7 lifetime to 1 more lifetime. That means they reborn 1 more time, come back to maybe a human 1 more time. So that's the discount from 7 to 1. So that's the one sweetener, that's what we call once, come back once. Then above one sweetener, we have this thing called non-returner. Non-returner, that means they do not come back to this world anymore. So a non-returner, they need to overcome greed and anger. There is no more greed and anger. The mind free from greed and anger. So this is a non-returner. So considered very pure, non-returner. So after they pass away, non-returner, they do not be born as a human anymore. Do not come back to this world. So they have a special place in heaven for them. It is believed. Special place in heaven for them called the pure abode. Pure abode, specially reserved for them. So if they get born there, they will achieve enlightenment there. So they will pass away and then they escape this birth and death. So that is called non-returner. So once returner, non-returner, very close, about the same. And the last one, finally, last one is this Arahant. So we always talk about Arahant, right? Phra Goh to Arahato, right? Arahant. So Arahant means the 4th fruition, the final stage. Arahant. So Arahant need to overcome 5 more things. Arahant more demanding, overcome 5 more things. So Arahant need to overcome attachment to the 4 concentrations. So for those who join the retreat, we talk about the entering concentration, right? So Arahant will not cling to the 4 concentrations. So some people say, I do not practice concentration meditation, so I don't cling to the 4 concentration. So that's not the case. So they can enter, but yet they do not cling. So that's Arahant. And they do not cling to formless concentration. So that's the other defilement they overcome. They do not cling to formless concentration. They do not have restlessness. They do not have restlessness. Restlessness means the mind like monkey, right here, right there, right here, right there. So do you face this in meditation? Mind right here, right there. And the rest never run here, right there. And they are run there. So if your mind run here, run there, means you are very normal. If your mind does not run here, run there, that means if you do not have this problem, either you are sleeping or you finish your job. It means you are enlightened. So you don't have to come here for practice. So Arahant, they overcome restlessness. That's the other factor they overcome. And the next thing they overcome is this conceit. Yes, conceit. That means ego. Ego, the sense of self, sense of I. So earlier on we talked about personality view. So now we talk about ego, I. Why do you feel you are you? And there is an ego, there's an I. I am myself, the I is real, right? So we think that I is real. So only an Arahant can overcome this emotion, this feeling of I. They transcend this I. So they become selfless. Now we see themselves. So how to differentiate between this conceit and this personality view? For example, I am a Buddhist. So the Buddhist is a personality view, and I is this ego conceit, I. So then I is closer to the source, the sense of self. And you are will, I am will. So that's the self, the Arahant will overcome. And eventually, the Arahant will overcome ignorance. Ignorance to the Four Noble Truths. That is, they totally understand the Four Noble Truths. So earlier on, the stream enterer only cleared the doubt of Four Noble Truths, but not total understanding. So the Arahant will have total understanding of the Four Noble Truths. So some people will think, I study Buddhism, but I know Four Noble Truths, and so that is still clear enough. So Arahant means they overcome the greed and anger totally cease. So they experience the full extent of the Third Noble Truth. And they fully experience the extent of the Fourth Noble Truth, the path and being the end of suffering. And because of that, they fully experience what is the first and second noble truth. And because they see the suffering there, they know their comparison. What is this ultimate happiness and what is the craving and suffering. They have something to compare. So if you ask a normal person who is not interested in practicing, I enjoy my life for why you are practicing for what, why you are meditating for what. So to them, circular thing is happiness. Circular thing is happiness. A circular thing, there's also pleasure and pain. So they do not see another kind of happiness beyond this pleasure and pain. So that's the difference. Okay, so now I've introduced like the whole range of these fruits or plants and fruition, the different types of statehood in Buddhism. So now we can talk about stream entry, right? Like it's a very easy thing to enter like that. Okay, so a stream enterer need to, or how to identify a stream enterer. So beside these checklists I given you earlier, what kind of defilement to overcome, what kind of defilement to overcome, I'm introducing you more checklists so that you can see for yourself what to improve. What to improve. So a stream enterer need to have unshakable faith in the Buddha. Unshakable faith in the Buddha. So they know the teacher, the teachings is real, and the teacher is the Buddha. No more doubt in the Buddha. And the second one, unshakable faith in the Dhamma. So they have no more doubt in the Dhamma, because they experience the Dhamma already. No more doubt. Unshakable faith in the Dhamma. And the third one, unshakable faith in the Sangha. Unshakable faith in the Sangha. So they know there are such practitioners who practice the path, and there's these achievements. So that unshakable faith in the Sangha. And so a stream enterer will add these three plus. If you have these three only, fanatic also can have. Extremist and fanatic also can have these three. So you need a fourth one. A stream enterer must be pure in their precept. Pure in their precept. So I introduced this precept thing yesterday. So minimum 5 precepts. So they refrain from killing. They refrain from killing. They know killing is bad. When you kill, you have this greed or hatred in mind, or you intentionally kill, when you have greed or hatred, it's bad for this spirituality. It doesn't give you this happiness of this understanding of this Four Noble Truth, experiencing this Four Noble Truth. So that's all the stream enterer. They refrain from killing, refrain from stealing, refrain from sexual misconduct. That means stealing very obvious and straightforward. Refrain from sexual misconduct, that means for 5 preceptors, turn, those taking 5% turn, that is they do not cheat their partner, and they're faithful to their partner, and they do not engage other sexual activity with other people with partners. So that's for the sexual misconduct. Or anybody who is still underage, still under the protection of a guardian. So can have sexual relation with those people also. Or anything under the law. So basically that's for the third precept. And the fourth precept, they refrain from telling lies. So we mentioned that basically 4 kinds of right speech. Avoid telling lies, avoid harsh speech, avoid random sentence, avoid divisive speech. So if stream enterer, even though they do not overcome greed and anger, they won't intentionally have this wrong speech. So if you see a person shouting or telling lies, then this maybe not yet, not yet stream enterer. So you need to have someone cure the reason. Okay, then the fifth one, refrain from this alcohol and taking of these intoxicants. Taking of intoxicants. So for this one, somehow we believe this precept is added later. There are in the Buddha's time certain lay person who get drunk. And then questioned by somebody questioned the Buddha, how come this person drunk? And you say it's stream enterer. Right? So then was that time. But later on the Buddha added more rules, and then we as a lay person try not to get drunk. And it's no good because if a person is heedless, there's a story. If a person is heedless, there was one time devotee very faithful to the precepts. They keep all the 4 precepts very well. And refrain from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and lies. So one day he decided to drink, and he got drunk. Right, so when he got drunk, then he went home. When he got drunk at time, his neighbor, the neighbor's chicken, came over to his house. And because he's drunk, then he has the urge to want to eat the chicken. So he cannot tell that this is the neighbor's property, right? Then he decided to just kill the chicken. Then he cook the chicken, then he makan the chicken. So he break the precept of killing already. So what happened is the neighbor's wife came to look for the chicken. Came to his house and asked, do you see any chicken coming to this your place? Then when he invited the neighbor's wife to his house, because he's still drunk, and he committed sexual misconduct with the wife. At first he told him, no, he didn't see the chicken, so that lies to him. And he committed sexual misconduct also, so he basically break all the precepts. So because of being drunk, and he broke all the precepts. And so very important, do not make yourself marble. You make yourself marble. Once you're clear, from a clear mind you become unclear, and you might say all the wrong things. You may behave all the wrong ways. So very important to have a clear mind. So that's the importance of having these precepts. So stream enterer will fulfill these 4 criteria. Very important. Okay, so I don't want to stretch any further. I'm going to open the ground to Q&A. Too much theory, you need to bring to heavy. Who still can take exam? Nobody, only one. Okay. So I open the ground. If you have any questions, do feel free to ask. They're trying to make this more interactive session. But to overload.
Okay, open for question and answer.
question from you, answer very good. I noticed secondly, always very passive. Most of the time, when we ask for Christian, it seems that very few will ask. I think that he was shy. Okay, one question. Okay, my name is Eenh. Okay, how do you Phra Goh. Phra Goh. Okay, just how you mentioned, how we overcome rethinking those bad things. For example, you say drown. Yeah. Okay, let's say I want to drink, but how to stop me to thinking to drown or thinking to kill the teacher? Okay. Or thinking to some you say invite the neighbor house situation. How to overcome all these things? How to stop thinking your intention? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, very good question. So the precept itself is not to follow for the sake of following, not for the sake of binding us. So there is we call it the holistic path, the eightfold path, noble eightfold path. So in order to be having this right action or right speech, we need to have right understanding and right thoughts. Right understanding, right thoughts. So for precept, in order to break a precept, a person needs to fulfill a few criteria. First is intention. Intention. That means they have the greed and the desire to want to drink the alcohol, for example. So the desire must be there. Intention. So the greed must be there. So the next criteria is perception. Perception. Let's say if I perceive this drink to be alcohol, this is called perception. Yeah, perception. But if let's say I know let's say imagine the cup here is a tiger beer cup. Tiger beer cup. The design, the pattern is tiger beer cup. But I know, perception wise, I know the drink is water. H2O. That's plain water, not beer. So if I know somebody pouring me plain water and not beer, so perception wise, I know it's not beer. Right? So second criteria is first you need the desire, second is perception. You must identify it is a beer, that is alcohol. And the third one, you must carry out the action. That is, you must drink. Or let's say for other precept, let's say for killing or stealing, a person may actually ask another person to do it for you. So that is considered carrying out the action also. So you yourself are also the mastermind, also equally guilty. So some people say, I don't commit the killing one, I call somebody to kill for me. So that is also breaking the precept. So that is also carrying out the action. That's also killing. Then the next criteria is that object must be drunk. And so after drinking, you carry out action, then you must drink. So a person might drink and get drunk. So that fulfills the criteria of breaking the precept. So for the other case, let's say for killing, the bee must die. So they consider breaking the precept. So if any of the criteria is not fulfilled, not yet broken the precept. Not yet broken the precept. So that's why we always talk about training the mind, training the intention to be pure. So in our practice, our meditation or our reflection, we always encourage right thought, thoughts of non-greed, thoughts of non-hatred. So in our retreat session, we talk about loving kindness meditation to overcome anger. So you reach all beings well and happy. So loving kindness to overcome anger. And thoughts of impermanence to overcome greed. So you think of things changing on every moment, changing. Then later on you no more So you keep on reflecting impermanence and suddenly no more interest and no more interest. So that's the purpose of reflection of impermanence. And for those attending the lunch dharana earlier, that Chief Reverend he mentioned practicing dharana, practicing generosity. So if a person practices charity, practice generosity, volunteerism, or other kinds of generosity, they also reduce this greed. So it's very important. So if a person mentally they do not have this inclination anymore, they have other incentive by doing good deeds, they have other emotional happiness rather than doing these wrong things. So some people may be addicted to maybe drinking or addicted to telling lies, addicted to all the wrong things because they find pleasure in doing these things. They find pleasure in doing these things. So if a person has other kinds of happiness, or spiritual happiness, greater than these things, then they don't want to do these things anymore. Not important. And also important to have moral shame and fear. Moral shame and fear. So we call this our conscience. Conscience, our conscience. So if you think, alright, then don't do. So a person will feel guilty and remorse if they do something wrong. So very important. So this moral shame and fear, this guilt and remorse is basically our internal security system. Our security system to tell us that this is wrong, don't do that. So very important. So we have this. Sometimes the addiction more than this moral shame and fear. That's why people continue doing those things. Right? So we need to have practices such as confession. Confession. So sometimes we have maybe some puja here, some services, do confession of something, whatever speech or action, whatever thoughts I do wrong, please forgive me. Yeah, so we have all these kind of confession for self-improvement. First, you need to acknowledge that you have this weakness and this thing, you do something wrong, then you want to overcome, you want to improve. If not, you just can't conceal something, you want to forgive me, but I want to forgive, I don't know, just forgive. So, first you need to identify your shortcomings. Your shortcomings, and then when you chant, it becomes more meaningful. So there must be some intention to change. Yeah, very important. And it's two ways. It's asking forgiveness. First is our own shortcoming, and this one is if let's say somebody else do something wrong to you, and you cannot forgive the other person. Yeah, then you also need to eventually learn to forgive that. So you have to reflect on the other person also have shortcomings. Not everybody is perfect. You slowly learn how to forgive also. So it's two ways. Yeah, two ways. Alright? And if whatever you do wrong is still there, it is good to go personally to ask forgiveness. Yeah, don't everything go to the Buddha and ask for forgiveness. Then you purposely do something wrong and go to the Buddha and ask for forgiveness. The person won't forgive you. The person still won't forgive you. So asking for the Buddha for forgiveness is for your own self-improvement. But if you want to resolve issues, resolve conflict, resolve tension, you need to go to the person you wrong and then ask for forgiveness. And so very important. Hopefully I answer your question.
What if my things stole by someone?
Okay, if your things stole by someone, so very important we have again we have to differentiate. There are two kinds of dharmas. One is the mundane dharmas and one is the spiritual, the supra-mundane dharmas. So spiritual aspect, unless if let's say you're practicing some bodhisattva path, that's a different thing. Intention is one thing. Sometimes let's say you want to protect your family. And if you let people everything, then your family will starve. So you need to protect your family also. So depends on your intention. Your intention is to protect somebody, then you need to take the necessary action. Maybe you report to the police, or maybe you need to confront the person. If let's say you know the person, you can negotiate, find amicable ways. If not, you do not know the person, you can report to the police. So there are mundane ways. So mundane ways is to report to police. Mundane method of solving the problem. So the spiritual way is to still make sure the thoughts have no greed or hatred. So very important. So yeah, you can feel upset if something is lost, but try to maintain the right intention, clarity of mind before taking action. Because if the mind is not clear, sometimes you do silly things. So it's important to check the mind first before you carry out any action.
Okay, any more? Yeah.
Nande, thank you very much. From my observation, people who are poor, people who are not so poor, people who are rich, people who are very rich, most of the time, people are never truly happy. Since you brought up the issue of happiness, people keep seeking, looking, searching, finding that happiness. We so desperately need it. So can you please explain a little bit more on the issue of happiness? What do you mean by happiness in the Buddhist sense? Real happiness, not the mundane happiness. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for this question. So, in psychology, or most places, if they want to refer to a psychological model, they refer to this Maslow's hierarchy of needs and wants. Who have not heard before? Maslow's hierarchy. So this is a psychological model that believes that first you need to fulfill your basic needs of food, clothing, you need to fulfill your housing, security must be there, then your self-achievement must be there, your confidence must be there before you can seek spirituality, which is not very true. So a person can be very wealthy but still feel not enough. Still feel not enough. So this one has got to do with right view. Right view. That means whether a person experience or understand the Four Noble Truths. Whether they understand craving is the source of their unhappiness. A lot of times when the egoistic way, materialistic way is, if let's say you feel unhappiness, you want to seek happiness, you maintain your craving. You maintain your craving, you change your attention, or you change to look for something else. Do your hobby. Do your favorite thing. So the craving is still the same, but you switch to a different activity. So this is the materialistic way, mundane way of doing things for happiness. So let's say you are stressed, go shopping, go for holiday, go for some place makan, go for some entertainment. So this is mundane way of doing things. So your craving is still the same, remain the same, you just switch activity. So if you do that particular activity for a long time, every day, let's say, I don't know, maybe let's say a person's favorite activity is eating ice cream, for example. So imagine every day eating ice cream, 24/7 eating ice cream. What will happen? Whole day munching ice cream, not eating ice cream. So they get sick. First, they sick on the taste, or the stomach too full. There will be suffering, they will need to stop. But most people do not reflect. They know I have already, okay, then they change another activity. So craving remains the same. So there's no proper reflection. So what we're introducing here is there are changes around, we need to deliberately reflect there is change. We need to observe the change. Okay, I feel very full already. I feel the taste changing. I feel very full already. Right? So you need to deliberately, mentally note and vocalize, okay, this is changing every moment. Right? So it's very important to, we call this practice right mindfulness. Right thought and right mindfulness. So every moment, like you sit down, the sensation, the backside changing, your body sensation, nervous system changing. So you need to take note every moment changing. The sound you hear changing. Right? Like that. So soon after a while, then you'll be thinking, oh, what are you holding on? Yeah. So the more you detach, the mind will actually go through a filtration process. You let go something, the mind becomes lighter and lighter. Then there's a different kind of happiness. Right? So this is something I can share theoretically. So it's up to the individual whether you want to practice that. So we keep on reflecting on impermanence, very important. Everything is changing. So you don't need to over-imagine, going to dramatize. One day I grow old, who will look after me? Do I have enough savings or not? I learn to do like that. We call this over-imagination. Become worrying and suffering. Stress yourself and suffering. So what we need to do is, every moment, evidence, any sensation change, and we take note changing. And so it's very crucial to eventually, we call it, learn to detect at a micro level. So the spiritual way of finding happiness is to reduce this craving. So if a person keep on reflecting on right thoughts, they have these non-hatred, the craving reduced, then they will experience a different thing. Right? So again, the intensity will change depending on how much craving you reduce that. So this one is up to individual pursuit. So this is the most I can answer for you. Right? So hopefully can make a deep understanding. Anyone else? Any questions? Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
You say regarding you said one of them is regarding to the one of them is refrain from killing.
Yeah.
What if you come to a situation you have no choice, let's say you confront a tiger in the forest, the tiger wants to attack you, and you have no choice, let's say you have a gun, you have to kill the tiger, otherwise the tiger will kill you. So in this situation, how?
Okay.
Because you have no choice. Robbers come to your house to rob you. They have weapons. So after that, you have a gun. They come and injure your family members, and you have a gun. Would you shoot them just to defend your family members?
Okay, very good question. How many of you have handled a gun before? Nobody, Never. Water gun, okay.
Maybe you say gun,
Okay, so for gun, because for Singaporean, the men will have to go through this national service, compulsory national service. So for guys like us, if let's say we go to the military or the police, most of us will have held a gun before. So most of us will have to, let's say, learn this guard duty protocol. So we are assigned to do guard duty, we have issued this rifle, issued live rounds, and we have this protocol. Let's say as an intruder, somebody comes to your premise, first is not to shoot the person, First is give them warning, tell them first. Halt, do not move or ask them to turn back. So important to give warning first. Give warning. And if giving the warning they still come forward, give warning shot. Maybe you shoot the ant, don't shoot the person first. So this a normal straight thinking person will run with them. If after shooting the ant, they still come to you, they still want to come forward, or in whatever manner, maybe mind is not straight or become an aggressive mind. We don't shoot to kill them, we shoot their leg. And we aim the leg, shoot them. So they cannot walk. And so that's the idea. So we do not use the weapon to kill. And so same thing, you have any weapon. If let's say it's a knife, and you have burglars with weapons, do you think you can beat them? You cannot beat them. So the best idea is, I watched this interesting show. I forgot what's the name of the show. Self-defense championship is a bit like a reality show. So they get all the martial artists, different kind of martial artists, one from Muay Thai, expert Muay Thai, expert in karate, expert in this jiu-jitsu, expert in this different kind of martial arts. So it's a bit like a game show. So they give different scenario on knife defense. So one of the situations is knife defense. And story is, or the rules of the game is, how to defend yourself against a knife attacker. So there's two scenarios. One is a normal scenario where a person wants to rob you using a knife. So some of them do attack and not attack the robber, and some of them do succeed. And some of them very smart. They just tell you, here, give you my wallet. And they are awarded full scores. That's the best defense. That's the best defense. And another scenario is even a mad psychopath, mad serial killer, want to kill you with a knife. So how to use your martial arts to defend yourself against this attacker? So this attacker will just have to, you cannot negotiate, no negotiation, no running away. So they are enclosed in the room, you cannot run, no weapons around, so purely they have a real martial arts skill. So you guess what? Everybody failed. Everybody can understand. No matter how they use their martial art, they can block the wrist, then the serial killer will just use the other hand to take a knife and continue stabbing the person. So all the martial artists fail. So if you face a robber, moral of the story is, if you can negotiate, please negotiate. Do not try to self-defend and fight the negotiator. High chance of failing. Who don't get the martial arts? Nobody, so forget about even trying to attack the person. Okay, so for wild animals in the forest, in our teaching they have, in the suttas, we have this sutta called the Sabha Sutta. Basically, overcoming of all defilements. So one of the advice that Buddha mentioned is, if you know that place is very deep, full of wild, dangerous animals, do not go. Buddha said, do not go. Do not go there. Some people say, meditation must go to wilderness, not go to forest, like very cool thing. Instagrammable, very scenic, Instagrammable environment. Take photo of yourself in jungle, waterfall, very nice. So Buddha mentioned any dangerous place, do not go and stay there. Buddha said, so you can check this out, Sabha Sutta, and the ending of all defilements. Because Buddha very practical. Because not everybody, not all the monks have psychic power. Buddha can heal himself, at least he can fly or teleport or whatever. But not all the other monks will be injured. So some people want to follow the Buddha. The Buddha story of Narayani, the wild elephant charging at the Buddha, and the Buddha never moved. And interestingly, all the arahants run away. All the arahants, beside the Buddha, all run away. Because they follow the teaching of the Buddha, you see wild animal, you don't go. So the Buddha never goes. And only this attendant, this general Ananda, is the only non-enlightened being there to stand between the Buddha and the wild elephant, or the charging elephant, drunken elephant. So you try to stop the elephant, try with the human shield. So imagine the wild elephant charging with that mass, with that speed charging. One human can't do much also. You can run through it also. Knock you over and even knock the Buddha. So the Buddha asked this Ananda to stand aside. So the Buddha has the metta to stop the elephant. So after this retreat, I encourage you to practice metta. Please do not try this. Do not go to the zoo or some wild enclosure and try to stand inside. I will stop the no. In fact, there's news, there's some news in I think some Buddhist country in Sri Lanka, I encourage you. So some monk want to tame the wild elephant, get crushed by the wild elephant. And they think they're practicing learning kindness. So no, please do not do this. Do not try. So but if let's say you are in the last resort, I'm going to mention there are some weapons. Presumably you have an imaginary gun, even though you, how do you possess gun? Nobody else. So imagine you do possess a gun. Same thing, I will encourage you to do warning shot. Warning shot. The loud noise by right to scare the animal away. Do not try to kill the animal first. So even if you have a fire, a torch, also scare the animal. Do not try to if the animal wants you to pursue and want to burn, and then it's real intention of killing. By right, you scare them to be good enough. So if a person do practice the precepts well over a long time, and if they do it correctly, they should develop compassion. Compassion, not to kill. So very natural if the being want to escape, want to run, then you won't pursue it. I won't pursue it. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Okay, any other question? Okay.
The way is you want to learn. It's still okay.
Yeah, one question.
Yeah.
Nande, two things. One is as you go behind it, meditation is more and more difficult. So I was told that meditation is not necessary to gain stream Dhamma. We can just read and understand the sutras. Is that right? Second question again is, just now you mentioned 7 lives, you collect 7 lives, 1 life, everything. All in the book, right? So we were told we don't have government soul. So what is it that is important?
Okay. Okay, so you asked a very good question. So first is by reading the teachings and you do not cultivate, can a person reach stream entry from there? So I can tell you, it's just from my experience. In Singapore, I've been sort of asked, invited to do this prison counseling. That is, go to prison to give Dhamma talk to Buddhist prisoners, Buddhist inmates. So the inmates are Buddhist. And a lot of them even went through Buddhist school, Buddhist classes. They went through Sunday school, they know what is triple gen, they know what is 5%, but they still end up in prison. Yeah? Still end up in prison. So understanding theory is is one thing. But then whether you are really deeply apply, really reflect, that is a different thing. That is a different thing. So can be any country, can be any status, can be a lay person, and who knows, even monastic also, sometimes have scandals and whatever. So a person can know the teachings in theory, which is not good enough. So I know where you're coming from. There is a particular sutta where Buddha talks about a person doing 5 things can reach split entry. So one of them is hearing the Dhamma. And after hearing, actually they should reflect on the Dhamma, right? And a few other things. And then they should, one of them is also teaching the Dhamma. And so what I'm doing now, teaching the Dhamma. So teaching also got benefit. So by teaching, I need to research, I need to think carefully, I need to reflect before I say something, or before the talk, maybe after. So this is we call generating the good karma, reducing craving. So by listening or reading the teachings, you need to reflect. So if a person read and never reflect, never reduce greed and hatred, then it doesn't reach straight entry. So sometimes we'll do the intention. Some people read to find facts to argue with people. Yeah, to find facts to argue with people. So the intention not correct reading. So they don't use the teaching to try to reflect and reduce their greed and hatred. There's no inner transformation. They are not aiming for inner transformation. So if the intention is wrong, then the reading becomes not correct. It becomes like anti-academician. Read to argue, to find fault, and everything. So that is not. So if the more they find fault, the more angry they get, more heated, then doesn't reduce greed, doesn't reduce anger. Becomes increase your greed and anger. So doesn't fulfill the purpose. So reading can be one thing. How you use the reading. So hopefully that answers your first question. And so we follow to the second question. What's the second question again?
What is enough to reward?
What is enough to reward? Okay. So this is a very good question. We talk about, in Buddhism, we talk about non-self, no soul, no soul, no self. And what is there to reward, right? So I'm going to use a very sidetrack, use a different analogy. Using water cycle. Have you heard of the water cycle before? From water, it evaporates, becomes clouds, right? Clouds and become rain, and then the rain becomes water, and then it becomes cloud again, and become rain. It's called water cycle. Water cycle. So conventionally, in conventional science, if the water is the same water, right? The same water, it evaporates, it comes down, then evaporate again, the same water. So conventionally, we will say it is the mind or the consciousness, whatever label you want to call it, that goes through this river. So there's karma and river. So that is the conventional understanding. So imagine now I'm going to switch back to this water cycle again. Imagine another scientist coming, and this scientist is quantum physicist. Quantum science, quantum physicist. Who heard of quantum physicist before? Quantum science. Okay, so this is very cheap science. So they're talking about black holes, Schrodinger's effect. These atoms are not real, atoms are empty, this kind of stuff. Made of 99% space, those kind of stuff. So this is called quantum physics. They'll tell you quarks or quantum particles will affect each other, you split them apart, you different distances, you do something to one particle, the other particle far will get affected also, that kind of thing. So this is the study of quantum physics. So a quantum physicist will come in and tell you No, it's not the same water. They tell me, no, it's not the same water. And all conventional science will tell you the same water. Go up river, something like river, become cloud, come down. Same water. So the quantum physics will tell you, no, not the same water. The particles will change, sometimes the particle will transform, you go to another thing, whatever. So it will tell you it's not the same water. So this is where the higher Dhamma comes in. The higher Dhamma comes in. So imagine the Buddha come in and he tell the majority of the other religion, no soul. Or there's non-self, no self. So conventionally, there's still rebirth going on. There's birth and death going on for a person who is not enlightened. And then these spiritual scientists, quantum scientists, the Buddha come along and they tell you, no soul. Then how? Then how? So this is the reflection. By reflection of this non-self or this impermanence, a person can reduce greed and eventually overcome this birth and death. Transcend birth and death. So that's the idea. So the Buddha himself, although his mind is free from birth and death, physically he still grows old, aging, and sickness, and he passes away. And physically passes away. So the Buddha talked about the Dhamma, breathing the drum of deathlessness, but he don't physically need to pass away. And so this is a different kind of teaching, higher Dhamma. Higher Dhamma. So it's experiential kind of liberation. It's a very spiritual kind of liberation, different way. A person needs to experience it different and contentment. Okay, so I don't explain further. It's getting more and more confusing. It's an experiential thing, cannot put into words. One example, I can use metaphor to example. The Buddha gave example of tortoise and a fish. Tortoise and a fish. So the tortoise can go to land, go to dry land. After exploring the dry land, then you go back to the water, go back to the pond. So the fish in the pond is wondering, hey, where do you go? You disappeared. And you suddenly disappear, where do you go? And this tortoise will explain to this fish, I go to dry land. Then the fish is like, what is dry land? Can you still swim in dry land? The fish had no idea. So the tortoise will say, no, you cannot swim on dry land. And can you breathe with your gills in dry land? The tortoise said, no, you cannot breathe with your gills on dry land. And the fish have no idea what you're talking about. So something like this, something along this line. So we talk about what goes through rebirth. We talk about a conventional mind that goes through rebirth. But then if you want to talk about something higher, you want to transcend rebirth, then we talk about this no consciousness, no mind, emptiness, whatever reflection is to reduce the attachment to this process. And eventually, once a person no more attachment, then they transcend this process. Okay, so this is the theoretical answer you can give you. Theoretical answer. Okay. Any other some question?
Yesterday, I just happened to read about this article. If I remember correctly, Albert Einstein says, religion without science is blind. Science without religion is lame. So I try to understand, but 50-50. Okay. Since you mentioned this now, physics and all that, kindly explain about this. Thank you.
Okay, so I read this quote before also, or I came across this quote before. So normally religion is associated with moral and spiritual values. Moral values. So a person without moral values, then they will use that science for immoral reasons. Whatever you mentioned, so people can invent atomic bomb, weapons of mass destruction. So without the ethics of religion, so religion normally advocate do not kill, do not steal, and stuff like that, right? So with science, or sometimes scientists themselves can be very neutral, yeah? Or they do not have the foresight, they just want the funding to do their research, and they're being made use of that. So these defense contractors or maybe a military will just use their invention for harmful purposes, yeah? For some other purposes other than beneficial things. Yeah? So those people who use their invention for immoral reasons, if let's say they do not have religion as a backing, they will use it for immoral reasons. Then killing is justifiable, and they do not have the concept of do not kill. So to them, must kill, killing is okay. If you kill to defend somebody, then it's okay. Or to kill to save, they justify. So by then we have the precept of not killing. So no matter what, if you do not kill, we will find other means. We can negotiate, we can do other things to find other means to solve problems. So they do not have this standpoint. So that's why religion without science science without religion can be very destructive. So like a lot of, let's say, over materialism. If let's say there's a lot of advancement in technology, a person do not have religion, talk about contentment, talk about simplicity, reduction in greed, then you just keep on buying over consumerism. So nowadays people talk about environmental issues, pollution, the trees gone, and that kind of thing. So you have this problem now. Then you have this problem. So vice versa, if let's say there's just religion and no science, then it becomes a bit backward. So nowadays you see we have this science, technology, camera and stuff like that. So we need to move along with times. So without science, then religion will be very backward. And so those who have maybe now the younger generation, we say, not so backward one, and there's no interest. Or let's say the commercial world, if let's say all the religions in the world do not use technology at all. Imagine all the religions in the world do not use technology at all. Then everybody will be living in a forest and cave. No construction of temple, no construction vehicle, no technology at all. So everybody living very simple structures, very simple technology, no science, very jungle. Yeah? No lighting, no electricity. Then you cannot have communication. No communication. So all the religious clergy are hiding in the mountains and caves, right? You cannot find it. Cannot find it. No advertisement, no social media. You don't know where to find them either. And you try to travel and look for them, you get lost. And so this is without technology. So if technology has benefit, you can come together, you can listen to teachings, you can do chanting. Some people even lazy and stay at home, they can just watch online. So some benefit. So religion, if you have science, then it makes things better also, and benefit more people. So you use science in the right way. recite it right way. You don't recite it the wrong way. So if religion supposedly to teach people good values and you cite, there is a win-win situation. Science and religion, win-win situation.
Thank you, Martin. I think we have made almost closing time. So tomorrow we have our retreat. Even though the program is 10 o'clock, it's only 9:45. So if any really very issues, critical issues, everyone know, to know, I think Phra Goh will start talking. Okay? Any really pressing issues that you want to raise, or else we shall call it day.
Okay, first count, really questions. Okay, no question. Second count, no question. Third count. Okay, so okay, no question.
Okay, so thank you very much.